Well, hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. You join me here in the T6 Transporter self-built camper van, and in this video we are going to be going to the British Grand Prix. So it is the Wednesday night at 10:30, and the plan is to set off tomorrow morning at between 5 and 5:30, head down to Silverstone, which is a good 4.5 hour, just over 4.5 hour drive. Get down there, get set up on the campsite, and then head over to the circuit and see what's going on tomorrow. So the next time you'll join me is on the way to Silverstone. So we are at Silverstone Services just outside of Leeds. We've been in to get some breakfast and get a Starbucks for the journey. So we are just about to hit the road again, and hopefully we'll make it all the way down to Silverstone. I hope this is actually tracking us, but yeah, this is a nice little services just near Leeds here. Silverstone Services it's called, just off the M1. So we'll get back on the road. Black transporter here that we're approaching is our friends, and then you can sort of see ours kind of just the other side of it there. So we've got the kind of bits of awnings and tents in the middle, and this is kind of how we are set up for the weekend. Well, we are at Whittlebury Park down at Silverstone, and we've already done 15,000 steps today, as we are end of the day now. Well, not end of the day, but we're going to be heading back over. We've been wandering around the circuit all day so far, so now we're just getting ready to go back for the concert stuff tonight. So what I can say is about Whittlebury Park anyway is decent enough campsite. It's on a hill, which I'm going to turn you around in a second so you can look back up the hill, but it's quite a big campsite. All seems all right so far. Kind of all the showers and toilets and that sort of thing all kind of put in for this weekend by the looks of it, because it's just a field. But anyhow, I shall spin you around and give you a look back up from here. So this is kind of what we are looking at, and there's obviously a few generators floating around as well that kind of powers the site. But it's about, from where we are to walk over to Silverstone, it's probably about 10 to 15 minutes to get onto the circuit. But it seems the weather's good. It's hot, dry, but other than that we are good so far. So like I say, we're just getting ready, and we're going to head back over to the circuit to watch the concerts tonight. Blossom are playing first, then followed by Sam Fender, so should be good. Well, it is the end of day 2 at the British Grand Prix, so it is the end of Friday. Now we've spent all day at the circuit again, and we've been to see concerts tonight. Didn't stay right at the end of the second one, but we did see Jade. So we're all got a very tired 9-year-old. But anyhow, today at the circuit we've seen F1 practice, 2 practice sessions. We've seen F2, F3 practice, and we've also seen F2 and 3 qualifying. So yeah, so our grandstand tickets are at Cops. So we went to one of the other Cop stands first, and then we went up to Dovecote to watch a bit more this afternoon. So when we were up there, that was when we seen F1 practice 2, and I think it was F2 and 3 qualifying that we watched from Dovecote. So I think we're going to go into one of the other grandstands tomorrow to watch some of the F2 and F3 races, and then probably move again to watch the F1 qualifying because I've also got a simulator session booked tomorrow afternoon. So basically simulator, so kind of driving an F1 car around the circuit here at Silverstone, but obviously on a sim rig, steering wheel, pedals, that sort of thing. So that's the plan for tomorrow, and then concert wise it's Bad Boy Slim is on tomorrow night, and Mabel I think supporting. So we'll probably kind of spend the day at the circuit, come back, get sorted out, have our tea, and then head back over for the concerts at the night time. But yeah, well, oh sorry, forgot to mention, Matt Armstrong is at eBay Garage, which we've not been to that side of the circuit yet. So we're going to go and check that out. He's there doing something at about lunchtime tomorrow. So we're going to head over there and see. It just says something about doing a build, but it's on for 45 minutes. So we'll head over there and see what that's all about. But yeah, so that's the update for today.
Win at all costs.
Yeah, that's the key thing. A lot of the time, people overthink that changing something in your car, servicing your car is going to be hard work, when generally it's all nuts and bolts. If you built up your IKEA furniture, I'm pretty sure you could service a McLaren. It's not that bad, but it is expensive if you make a mistake, we'll say that. But hey, no risk, no reward.
So behind me is Beckett's Corner, where we watched the final practice of the F1 today, which I quite like actually, that stand, because you can see quite a bit. You can see the track just behind me here, and then you can obviously see it further in the distance as well. So that was cool. We've then went across to watch the actual qualifying, but we went back across to the sort of main side where the main stage and stuff is. But I came across here tonight just because we got as far as Beckett earlier today, and then watched the Matt Armstrong thing this afternoon, but couldn't get near his car. So I thought, well, I'll come back and see if I can get some photos of his car, which obviously I have done. And this is a bit of a weird first for us, walking along talking to this when there's other people floating around. So there's other people walking past us, but never mind. First for everything. But yeah, I wanted to come up here basically because the Porsche Centre thing is just coming into shot up here. We'll go and get some footage of that in a bit as well. But yeah, today has been good. Like I say, we've watched the final F1 practice and F1 qualifying. Don't know how, but Verstappen seemed to pull it out the bag at the very last minute to get pole for tomorrow. But hey, it is what it is. Ferraris Hamilton was pretty good all of practice, some good pace, but just got pipped at the final sort of end of qualifying there. But yeah, so it's been a good day. We did watch, it was the F4 race tonight, which that was pretty good as well. Just love to watch the racing, to be fair. So pretty excited about the proper racing tomorrow. I think F2 and F3 races are in the morning, and then obviously the F1 in the afternoon. I don't know if you can see that in the background, but that is, what's his name? Can't remember. Anyway, this over here behind me, which if I turn you that way, you should hopefully be able to see that in the background. But that is the Porsche. It's like a Porsche experience thing, and there is a big, I don't know if it's actually a dealership at the end of this road here. But anyhow, I just wanted to walk this way, and I might actually just keep walking. So I've done a full lap. So I have walked quite a bit today. We're later getting back to the campsite, so Cora and Holly didn't fancy coming back out at night, which has been another long day, to be fair. By the time we got back to the campsite, it was getting on a bit. I mean, it's after 9 o'clock now, but had my tea and stuff, and I thought I wanted to have a walk up this way, because this is, don't think we'll get round here tomorrow. So just so I can say I've walked the whole track at Silverstone, basically. So yeah, so that's kind of how today's been. Well, I'm just trying to get a bit of video of what's in here through the railings of the barbed wire fencing. But yeah, I have looked at coming down here to drive something. Now, I was just thinking about a Cayman S, but that is at the back there. Actually, I'll walk along here because you can see that from over here. But anyway, that is a Cayman GT4. Now, I'll zoom it in, wrong way. But that is Cayman 4. Cayman GT4 RS, I would say. Now that would be good. Well, that's us back from a fantastic weekend at the British Grand Prix down at Silverstone. Now, Sunday race day turned into the only wet day of the weekend, and we packed up the van, obviously first thing Sunday morning, so when the race was finished, we could just head off and leave. And this is the outcome of that wet putting the awning away. So obviously the awning got soaked, so when we got back late last night, brought it into here, shook it out, tried to get the water off it. So the race yesterday was actually in the wet. So like I say, it rained first thing in the morning, really bad torrential downpour. So the F2 race was in the rain. And then when the F1 race finally got going at 3 o'clock, the track was still wet. and it also rained about, it was probably about halfway through. There was more rain as well, so it was a really interesting race. Our seats for the race were in Cops C, and it was seat F, 88, 89 and 90 we had. Now, we did see some good action there, so Hajar, I think, went into the back of someone just after one of the restarts, and he came straight across into the gravel and the barrier in the front of the stand. So that was a fair bit of excitement to see there. But the seats we had, obviously we're at Cops Corner, like I say, stand C. Now we did try stand A earlier in the weekend, and I think I preferred up there because you could see them coming into the corner and going kind of round it, whereas where we were, you were kind of at the point where they were round the corner. So I think Cops A and B was slightly better seating. If I went back again, had to choose from Cops, I think I would choose Cops A or Cops B. But other than that, the seats were really good. F was kind of about halfway up the stand, and we were kind of on the end as well. So the seats were good. The other good thing about the grandstand tickets that we had on the Friday and Saturday, they were roving basically, so you could go into any of the stands you wanted to. So it was good to get around some of the other stands and see what the view was like from there. And also, there were proper allocated seating on the Sunday, so obviously, like I've mentioned, Cops C, F, 88, 89 and 90 were our allocated seats for the race. Well, for all of Sunday, but like I say, Friday, Saturday, you could go into basically any of the stands and see what the views were like. So I suppose one of the big questions is, will we go back? Would I go back to watch another F1 race at Silverstone? Now, if money was no object, 100% would be back next year, but obviously these things are quite expensive. So just to run through the costs of what it was, can't remember them off the top of my head, but so basically our grandstand tickets for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday came to £1,373. So like I've said, that gives you access on the Friday and Saturday to any of the grandstands. Well, I think most of the grandstands, and then obviously you get your allocated seat on the Sunday. Now Cora's ticket, because she's only 9, it was a little bit cheaper than the kind of standard adult ticket, but not by much. So that's £1,373 for grandstand tickets for our family for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Initially we hadn't planned to be down there on the Thursday, but it was a bit more sort of last minute to plan to go on the Thursday as well. So for the general admission tickets on the Thursday, they're £50 each. Obviously that was an upgrade on my ticket package I had, and under 11s for general admission go free. So that just got we in, and then obviously to see Sam Fender on the Thursday night. Now the campsite, we were at Whittlebury Park, and that was a Lodgefield electric pitch, which we stayed on the same pitch with our friends. So basically he booked a pitch, added an additional vehicle, and then we halved the price of the pitch. So that pitch was £535, which I think you could get access on the Tuesday, possibly Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest, and then you can stay through till Monday. Obviously we went down on the Thursday morning and came back on Sunday night. So the price, that half of that price was £267.50. So the total for the weekend, just for staying and the tickets to get in, was £1,740.50. Now, that's a fair bit of money in anybody's guesstimation. And on top of that, there was a full tank of fuel to get down there, which did manage to get the transporter there and back on a tank of fuel. It's literally running on fumes as it is now, but did get there and back on a tank of fuel, which I think is about £90 at the minute to fill the tank on the transporter. We did Food and drink wise, we did take a fair bit of stuff with us. So we were eating our tea at the campsite, we were taking snacks and sandwiches during the day. So the only day we kind of, Sunday would pretty much ran out of, you know, something proper to eat for our lunch. So we did buy food in Silverstone, and just to give you an idea of cost for that, so 2 pizzas and 2 cans of Coke was £40. And then Cora wanted, I think it was chicken goujons and chips, tiny little box, 3 chicken goujons and a few chips. And I think that was about £15–16 for that. So yeah, it really expensive. Pint was, I think, £7 or £8 a pint. So yeah, so drinks and food quite expensive in Silverstone itself. But like I say, if you're camping, you can sort of make a decent go of taking a fair bit of food with you and, you know, trying to save a bit of money there. So like I say, the answer to the question would I go back? If money was no object, 100% would probably go back year on year. But due to the price of what it is, that's a fair old chunk of money that you could put towards other things, and for essentially a long weekend, it is a hell of a lot of money. So it certainly won't be something we will be doing every year by any means. And just to come back to the ticket prices, the one thing that they seem to be doing is every little bit extra you want, you've got to pay extra for. So I didn't realise at the time, and I just assumed you'd be able to get access to the, you know, all parts of the track, but the inner part of the track now, you've got to buy an extra ticket to get into there. So I'm not sure what the price of that was, and whether I would have bought them tickets if I'd have known that you had to buy them separately. I don't know. I maybe would have bought one for myself, because I would have quite liked to have a look around, you know, all the team vehicles and that sort of thing. So yeah, so it does feel like they're charging you for every mortal thing. But I think I've rambled on enough, so we'll end this video here. If you've liked this video, give it a like, and would love you to subscribe to the channel as well. If you're interested in seeing the Transporter tour video, I'll put a link to that on the screen now, and we will see you in the next one.